Reverend Rob Lee. Bold, smart, and straight to the point. This is Tarot with an Attitude.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Tarot with an Attitude. I am your host, the Reverend Rob Lee. Bangarang. Okay, today we're going to do a reading about what you need to know for the rest of this year. I want you to take a moment and just breathe, look at the cards, look at the stones, and figure out what calls to you. At that point, then I want you to go down below into the description, and you will be able to bring up whichever deck you were looking at and have your own reading. So with that being said, let's get this started. Okay, for everyone choosing the screen, the first deck with the Carnelian. This is Carnelian, and this is used in relationship to your root chakra. It can be used for everything below the heart. It's commonly referred to for the root chakra, for the sacral chakra, and for your solar plexus chakra, which is I am, I feel, I do. Okay, so there might be something in that if this is what you are drawn to, or that you might be needing to get something in alignment, or that something's drawing into one of those three major chakras. So let's take a look here. So I've already shuffled. I haven't looked at anything yet. Okay, and we're going to get this thing started. All right, so here is your light card. We're going to start with the light card, and I'm going to put her right here in the middle. And this is talking about patience. So 14, this is temperance. This is patience. This is understanding. This is going to be a major arcana card. What in everything? We have to have balance. Be patient. Don't be so anxious. Stop and look around. Now, when I look at your shadow card, I get the 3 of fire. So what this is saying is there might be some anxiousness, ready to take a move, ready to move on, and some action does in fact need to be taken. But what we're getting here is being listed or told to listen that there is a pace. You're not running in, you're not diving in. Go slow, do some things, take the steps, but allow things to happen and come about. Be patient. You can take action, but be patient. Now, where we go after this, cards are sticking together. So we come up with the 9 of Earth. Now, this is really cool if you think about it. Overall, we need to know we need to be taking action. We've got to be patient. We've got to look around. And what I'm really getting is, remember, when you take action is the temperance card. This is saying if you're not careful, you can actually cause yourself a problem. But if you will be patient, we have the 9 of Earth here saying you're setting yourself up to manifest and actually bring some things into fruition, into this tangible real world. I mean, that's just amazing when you look at it. You've got some things that you're actually going to be able to bring into light. The 4 of fire, we're back to fire here. The 4 of fire is talking about building that good solid base, knowing where you're at in your spiritual world, in your will, in that drive, in that thing. So you've got a good place to go, and you're going to have to build this, and your spirit has got to be passionate and involved with it. So you're at a good place to take this next leap and to join. So we have the King of Fire. A lot of fire here, folks. And I want you to think about that. In that root, this is really crazy. The King of Fire is here to talk about you taking control of your willpower, you taking control of what you want to do, the dreams you want to bring into life. You have to take that into control. Maybe it's time to set some boundaries for yourself, but this is about that masculine energy and being in control. You're able to complete some things. You're going to be able to get some things done. You have to take complete charge. Again, we have the 4 and the 4. So this is just that lion, that the emperor, Think of this emperor. The emperor is actually taking control. If you want to bring some things into your life, you're going to have to take action. You're going to have to be patient, all right? You're going to be able to manifest some things, but that Four of Fire is you've got to come from a place of spirit, a place of heart. What are you trying to do? Don't get caught up in all this frenetic energy that's going on. The King of Fire is saying, you know what? I've got to be in control. And the emperor is saying, you have to set the boundaries. And some people may actually be looking at you as an authority figure. You know, we have the Five of Earth. And this is saying that a good king will sometimes ask for help. Neighboring countries, different things, a good emperor. What do I need? They all have advisors. So I want you to understand that the Five of Earth is also here saying, you can ask for help. You can, and help is close. Just make sure you're looking at it, all right? That you understand it. That's that patience. Analyzing, taking a look, but we're moving forward. Guess what? The next card, the 10 of Earth. Something's fixing to come to an end, and all this, like I said, this is coming into a fruition. So you're going to manifest something, and it's going to bring a stage to end in your life that you've been wanting to come to an end in your actual physical world. This is called justice. Remember, the key here is understanding what you put out is what you're going to get back. Remember, your actions dictate, your thoughts dictate what is going on. The whole purpose of Bangarang. So, with the final card here, we have the Five of Water. Stop looking around at everything that's gone wrong, everything you've lost, and it is time to start looking at what is going right. That may be a hard thing for some people, but you have to look at the blessings and the gifts that you have. Now, remember, this is the one and only emotional card, the Five of Water, that has come up. Make sure you're not letting emotions drive everything, or that your emotions are running out of control. Gratitude is so important here. Gratitude, looking at what you've got in order to be able to move on. Now, one of the strongest creatures in the water world is the seahorse. It can wrap that tail around things and stand through. Notice our seahorse, everything's trying to move into the future, whether she wants to or not, all right? We have to focus on the future. You have to move into where you're trying, what you're trying to create, and you have to move forward emotionally to be able to bring this into fruition. You've got some great things happening for you from now till the end of the year. Make sure you make the most of it. There is that I am, I feel, I do. That's exactly what we're talking about. Bangarang. Hey, everybody, those of you that chose Jack number 2, here we are. We have a pink quartz, which is related to that heart chakra. I love. So that's one of those things. When we look at the chakras, the heart chakra is I love. So let's take a look here. So I would say there might be something either related to a love life, a relationship, or it could be that you need some alignment in your heart chakra, maybe to let something go. I don't know. Let's find out. I have already shuffled the cards. All right. We're going to set this right here. Okay. And then we're going to see what's happening here. What has this got to say for you now till the end of the year with your heart chakra? So we have the Knight of Wands. So Knight of Wands. That's a whole spiritual get your ass on the move thing, okay? Are you on fire? Is there something you're wanting to create? There's something that's going to be moving forward. Are you being true to you? Are you following your plan? Or are you letting some things take you off guard? But the Knight of Wands is here to talk about moving forward with the drive, keeping your eyes on some things and some times that you want. You might need to be, if there's a relationship issue going here, you might need to be bringing fire into this and stop waiting for somebody else to take charge. We do have the shot. Yeah, you know, maybe it's also telling you it's time to move on. This is your shadow card. And we have the shadow card here is death. All right. Death, but notice it says death and rebirth. 1 in 3. Let's look at 13. A lot of people take 13 as its own because it is that power number, death, rebirth. But 1 and 3, you bring them together, you have 4. It's talking about moving on to a new death, rebirth, and being able to start over from a new, strong standpoint. Can be beautiful. It might be looking like it might be time for maybe something to move along, and don't be afraid of it. Something new is coming in. Let's see where this is going. We do have the 10 of Cups. All right. So I love it when these cards start coming up, and we are talking about the heart chakra. So the 10 of Cups, now to the end of the year. Something is coming to an end, and it's okay, but it's a good thing, all right? It's going to allow new things to come into your life. The 10 of Cups is talking about you've achieved everything you can achieve here. Embrace it and look at it. But 10 is about something coming to an end, starting over, and I'm really getting that here. Be joyful. It's okay. Everything's good. We do go into the 8 of Swords. Is there a fear? Okay. Do you feel guilty? Is guilt holding you in place? Now, what I love about this card, this is my stress card, and most people won't notice it, but I want you to look at this card and the illustration here, all right? She is seeing herself bound. The crows, the ravens, they are binding her, and if you notice, those aren't very tight strings. She could easily free herself, but if you see, that's her reflection. That's what she sees of herself. She is actually looking up, and that is her true self. You have to start looking up and finding out you're not bound like you think you are. You are free to move. Don't let the fear of what you did yesterday or whatever happened yesterday. What I'm really picking up here now is the history. Well, there's so much time. If you're not happy, you're not happy. It's time to find that happiness and rebirth. It's time to move forward, regain your passion, regain your fire, and look for that fulfillment in your heart. Where you're at right now doesn't appear to be doing that, but you've locked yourself in. You are not a tree. You can move. Look at how free. All you got to do is stand up and walk on. And the 8 is about movement and learning. What did you learn? But look, and don't be caught up in the reflection or things that you see. I want you to understand you are free to move. Fear and regret will keep you locked in place. You cannot let that happen. Here we are. We're back to another night. Knight of Swords. All right. Get in your head, study this thing, look at it. What can you control? What can't you control? But look at how much movement we have here. And the Knight of Swords is about getting control of your brain and moving on. Now, what I want you to understand, the Knight of Swords can get a little strong, where he will overrun every other thing. Be patient, look at what's happening, but the movement is needed. Something new is coming, and you have to finish. Your life is not finished. Is there something you might actually need to run from? That's what we need to see. Look at all the movement in this card. Is this the life you want? Are you happy? Are you content? The Chariot card is here saying, where are you focused? Are other things, are you caught off? Is your happiness dependent on other people? Man, that really bothers me. What I want you to do is to understand it's your life. You control it. You get to go. You only get to live it once. Man, take control, and it's time to move forward in the area that's going to bring you this happiness and joy. This is all about emotion. You do have to remember, for this love, for this happiness, it begins and ends with you. So I'm going to ask you a question I'm known for asking when I'm dealing with relationships. Do you love yourself? Well, of course, love yourself. No. Have you learned to be happy in and of yourself without anybody else? So, because see, we have, and the Ouroboros, the snake that eats its tail. I have one, I wear it, my wife gave it to me. It's a reminder that this is your life. You are the magician. You have everything you need. Your life can go in whatever decision and directions you make it go, okay? But if it's time to go, it's time to go. This is on you. Stop blaming everybody else. Stop looking for excuses. But it's time for you to understand, yes, in this movement and what's happening in the heart by the end of the year, it's on you, not other people. Stop. You've got to take responsibility for your life. Look, the Seven of Wands. You have a right to feel the way you feel. Okay. And I want you to understand the Seven of Wands is about choices, but it's also about standing your ground, knowing who you are. You know, when I deal with addictions or I'm dealing with people in the medical field, one of the things I tell them, nobody's going to be an advocate for you as good as you. Stand your ground. If somebody's trying to change you, stop looking into the past. Stop looking and say, you know what? Where do I need to go? I'm going to stand up for what I need, what I want, and it might be time to move forward. But it's okay to be you, and it's okay to want and desire what you want and desire. Guess what? We have wands here coming out now. It's time to make a plan. What do you want to do? We've got this fire. You've got it now. What are you going to do with it? I know you've got this desire in your heart to move forward, to bring love and laughter and happiness back into your life, but you can either sit at a window and dream about it, or you can literally make a map and say, okay, where's my first step? What do I want to do? Where do I want to go? It just hit me. Some people are sad or depressed because they just seem stuck in their life and they don't even know what they want anymore. It's time to find out. It's time to get out there, and that's the important part about learning to love yourself. What do you like to do? What do you want to do? What does it take to make you happy? All right? And that's going to be the key question. Finally, the Ace of Cups. There's a whole new experience coming your way. All right? So I do see something coming to an end, so something new can actually flourish and grow, but it's going to take you going with it and not blocking it. The Ace of Cups, you're fixing to walk into a realm of all new emotions. Everything that can happen can happen. It's going to be in a very emotional time for you from now to the end of the year, but if you will allow it, beautiful things will grow. Beautiful things will happen. Think about that. Ace of Cups, the heart chakra, these things. We need to get that right. Life is short. Trust me. I have seen way too much in my careers and what I have done. Do not waste a day, all right, of regret. Say you're sorry, move on, okay? But life is to be lived, loved, and enjoyed. That's what I have for you. Wow, bang right. All right, tribe, for those of you that chose deck number 3, we also have the Lapis Lazuli stone, if this is it. And one of if this is if you drew to the stone. Now, one of the things, Lapis can be used pretty much from the neck up, all right? But when I set the intentions of this, Lapis, okay, is very good and very helps with the throat chakra. And I wanted to take this and kind of use it to actually set up. And let's talk about your communication. Now, I've already shuffled. I don't know the cards that are coming. All right. But here we go. So we're going to talk about Lapis. We're going to talk about communication. Now, that could be communicating with others. That could be communicating with yourself. All right. What's going to come along? But between now and the end of the year, communication for you is going to play a key role. So let's find out what these cards are saying and what's happening here. All right. So your light card, the very first card I have is the Magician. You have to remember, one of the things I am picking up here is the Magician is here to tell you this is on you. It is about you. It is about what you need. And this whole situation, whatever you're going to deal with, you need to notice how this Magician is looking up for direction. We have holding a candle, lighting, looking, making sure that, and then we have the Infinity symbol, and what I like to call it's the Ouroboros is the snake that eats its tail. I've seen this earlier in other readings, so I want to talk about this, that the Ouroboros, this infinity symbol, means that everything from beginning to end starts and ends with you. You shape, you mold, or whatnot. Even if somebody else is being an aggressor, it's going to be up to you to how you're going to react or respond. And this Lapis is saying communication is going to be key. Look for what's going on. The Magician, we have all four elements represented in this card. And this cup with this light and this everything coming out of it is saying, what do I need to see? What needs to be in this cup? Let's take a look at your shadow card, the card off of the bottom. We have, this would make complete and total sense, the King of Swords. Now, the King of Swords is telling you, you're going to be in some things, like I said, where communication is going to absolutely be key. It's going to be the clear component where it'll be business, personal, and even how you communicate with yourself. The King of Swords is saying you have to communicate from a place of logic, use your brain. It's time to set some emotion aside. Didn't say do away with it, but you have to come, look at all the white flowers. This signifies to me purity. You have to get a hold of yourself and be able to communicate in your head. Swords is air. It's all about communication. It's all about what you're thinking consciously. Have clear thought. If you need to stop for a moment and look up, take that moment to look up and make sure you're understanding exactly what's going on. Clarity of thought is going to be key in how to communicate in whatever's going on. Again, we have the Page of Wands. You're going to want to get passionate. There are things here about your fire. You're going to want to enjoy it. And what I want you to do is I want you to remember the page here I'm getting is a caution. Don't jump out and be like that, somebody throwing a temper tantrum. Okay, it doesn't go with exactly what I want to hear or what I want to do. Guess what? It's time to take a breather, take a chill. Okay, because this is going to be important. I know what you want to accomplish. You know what you want to accomplish. You have your dreams, the things that fire within you, but you have to be careful. Yes, you need to pursue that passion. You need to pursue it correctly, but don't let it get out of control. You know what? In this deck, it has a different card, all right? And notice that's 23, the Quill. And what are we talking about here? Communication. I'm telling you, you might want to be looking at contracts, some things that might be coming up that you might want to take a look at, and it is okay maybe to look for some legal advice or whatnot. The Quill. But you're going to get to write this story. It's going to be how you react, how you respond, and how you communicate is going to dictate what's going to happen. I just can't believe these cards are coming out like this. Thank you, Spirit. The Four of Cups is here. You need to have a good, strong emotional base, all right? Because if you don't, you are going to let things fly out of control. You're going to let your emotions, all right? But what I want you to do is be careful about taking something for granted. The Four of Cups is here saying, you know them, you know what they do. Make sure, okay? I want you to think about this. Even a stopped clock is right 2 times a day. All right? Don't get complacent. Don't take something for granted. Communicate, understand. Just because somebody has done something before doesn't mean that it's that way now. Take each thing and look at it. Becoming complacent is going to be a huge thing. 6 of Coins. You might need to determine how somebody needs help. This might be falling on you, okay? Or what a lot of people don't understand, 6 of Coins, we've become the victor. We've gone through our thing. We've got it. We're meeting out. In communication, make sure you're giving, not the advice you want to give. I often say a prayer. Many of you have heard it, where I ask Spirit to give their message, not mine. When somebody needs help, maybe you need to make sure what they need and not what you're wanting to give. You know, I laugh in dealing with relationships with people all the time. We've all been there, especially parents. I want to help. You're only helping if you're doing what I need done. Okay. If I have to come in and undo it or carry another burden, you're not really helping. I know your heart is there or whatnot. You need to help the way this person is needing the help. Now, in that, I want you to understand everything comes with a grain of salt. Notice he is meting out. There is a scale here. Don't throw yourself in. And there's that page of wands. Hold the phone. Mete out the help that you give. Know that you're giving the right thing. And if you give the right thing, you won't have to give as much, if that makes sense. We are looking at the 10 of Swords. This is going to come into, man, if you're not thinking or looking at something clearly, you can really cause some damage, okay? Because the mind is going to go a little nuts. Remember, 10 of Swords is coming to an end. Something in your mental world or in your communication, you can either kill it or begin something. And maybe it's time to communicate. We need to let this go in order to allow something new to start. This communication, this 10, we have the beginning and the end. This is something cool when you think about the 10 of Swords coming to play in your life. Some people look at this, well, I've been stabbed in the back or whatnot, and that becomes a very emotional experience. And we start letting the emotions of the situation override our brain. You know what? Remember, things do come to an end, all right? But that means something new can come. It might be time to put something to bed so you can start something new. And how do you communicate that with somebody? What's going on? It's all about your communication. The Wheel of Fortune. I do see here that some great things are coming, some great things, some great changes are going to be made. Nothing stays the same. So, wow, okay. So this change that's coming could, in fact, bring finances into your life. But communication during this change and not letting your emotions get completely carried away, all right, is going to be the key component in helping you embrace this change so you can make the most of it. We have the Queen of Swords. Note all the swords here. I love it when Spirit aligns the cards with the stone, and that was swords up here, all up here, everything in the head, in the communication, in your conscious mind. So the Queen of Swords is saying, as this comes, you need to nurture these thoughts. Notice the white. Whenever I see white, I start looking at purity. I start seeing and feeling that this is a great place. But the Queen is that feminine, that divine feminine of nurturing and understanding. You need to nurture and understand somebody and not just judge them. This is going to be the thing. And wow, okay, you also need to nurture and understand who you are, what you're doing. I think it's very important for you to realize here, what do you have in your control? This communication between your head and your heart, between you and somebody else, and the things that are happening around you is going to be key. What you actually put out of your mouth, what you actually say, how you put your thoughts forward, that's all communicating. And that is going to be the ultimate thing. We have the Six of Wands. Remember, if you will communicate properly, everything from spirit to emotions, you're going to have this just wonderful breakthrough. Things are happening. So things are lining up for you, but they're going to throw you for a loop. Be careful, slow down, understand that if you communicate through this properly, some beautiful, great things are going to happen and open up for you. Communication, clarity of thought, these are going to be key for you now, and something great is coming. Don't miss it by letting your emotions and letting your drive overpower good, clean communication and thought. Bangarang. Hello, tribe. Bangarang. Okay, for those of y'all that chose the fourth deck, we're drawn to this deck. I also put, and there was no intention of deck or whatnot. I just wanted to see what was happening. I have the Amethyst here. So in that chakra, we're talking about third eye chakra, and also when you look it up, you'll see it goes between the third eye and the crown chakra. And the third eye chakra, and what I want you to understand, third eye lets you read between the lines. Third eye is that intuition, very strong listening. But your crown chakra helps you understand it. So what we're talking about here, I want to see what you need to know by the end of the year. You very well could be seeing, okay, I need to be aware of my intuition, my abilities, what I need to do, and reading between the lines. It could be one of the reasons you were drawn to that stone. So let's take a look and let's see what's happening here. Now, I've already shuffled. I have not looked at the cards, but I have already shuffled, and we're going to get this started. So your light card, the card right off the top, wow, that ought to be encouraging for a lot of people. Victory and success. So number 6, this is about, understanding fire, passion. You're able to break through some things, and by the end of the year, some things are going to the sun's going to come out if you have been in this way. So it's also breaking that fog that's been in your intuition. And how are we going to do that? So here I'm going to go into your shadow card. Okay. Now, one of the things you need to focus on, all right, don't shoot the messenger, all right, is the 15. Notice we have a 6. 1 and 5 come together for a 6. All right. So that's really crazy. But temptation means you're going to you got to step up. You got to start using that free will. You've got to break the chains of things that are binding you, because a lot of things are that are holding you back are things you've put on yourself. So you need to take a look at that and understand that you can break free of that, and you can have a victorious life and see victory overall. Yes, that's what we're saying. If you follow this, we have new beginnings. Look, a whole new world, the door. You can, in fact, I challenge everybody to understand that at any moment of any time, if you make decisions, you can change your life, you can change your world, all right, by making a decision. Look, step out, close the door, don't look back, and find out what's going on. This is how we start a new beginning. This is our fool. She look foolish to you? No, all right? But the world is out there. The world is there. We have to free ourselves. Free your mind so your ass can follow. Once you free yourself, you're able to find victory. You're able to start new beginnings and new things. So this is what you've got coming for you, okay? You can open your mind. It's one of those things we're talking about this amethyst and the chakra, the third eye and the crown chakra. This is where things become new. Free yourself. What can you let go of? Is it thoughts? What's holding you prisoner? Is it regret? Is it something you did? Are you living in trauma? You know what? I'm not saying somebody didn't hurt you. I'm not saying you shouldn't feel guilty about something. But once you apologize for it, all you can do is then put that apology on them, and it's up to them whether to accept it or not. If you really meant it, you learn from it, and you move on. You can make a new way, a new precipice by saying, and declare it loud, declare it strong. You're going to step out. Once you free your mind and once you're able to break away, new things are going to start. And I want you to start looking at the world in a whole different aspect. We have heartache and loss. See, I knew that was coming. I don't know why. All right. But this is in your mind. One of the things that is holding you back, okay? 3 is creation. 3 is beauty. But heartache and loss is tied to that. And what I see is a lot of times our heartache and loss, when we keep focusing on trauma, when we keep focusing on the bad things that happen, it stops us from creating something beautiful. You have to figure out a way to let that go or deal with it. Cope with it, and remember, the sun's still coming up. You're still allowed to live a victorious life. It's what we're here for. It's what we're supposed to be doing. You need to deal with your heart chakra, is what I am being told here. This love thing, whatever it is, somebody hurt you so deeply, and this card a lot of time is represented, even though it's an air card with a heart with 3 swords stuck through the heart. Your heart chakra needs some healing. All right. What do you need to do that? And part of that is to really let go and stop living in the past. Notice how he is pointing to the movement. I've got to move away. Do what it takes to move away to find victory so you can find it. Declare victory over it so your heart can heal. Doesn't mean you'll ever forget it, but it can't be left to fester and to keep you from moving forward. Look here. Use your wisdom. You have choices to make. And this is an emotional thing. You're like, Rob, we're talking a lot of emotions here. Of course. But you got to be able to see clearly to free yourself. And one of these things is talking about is to understand if you want to bring your intuition into play, if you want to have a new beginning, if you want all new thoughts, if you want to be able to start some things out and have more of a psychic or just clear vision of what's going on, there are things you have to choose, and you have to choose wisely. That's what this card is saying. 7 is about choices. Notice he's at the end of his rope. All right. But there are choices you can make that are going to help you free this, clean up this heart chakra and stop being led by those emotions. Make a choice and say, you know what? This is in my purview to change. This isn't. How do I deal with it? The choices are yours. Okay. You have to remember that's the important thing here. You got to be truthful with yourself. Here's what all this is coming to. Wow. This is really cool. 20. Truth. Truth with yourself. Truth with what's going on in your life. And truth, you have to take ownership. This would be the judgment card in another deck. But here it's represented as truth. Because what you have to do, we all have to do this from time to time. We have to be that snake and shed that old skin that's keeping us blinded. We have to shed that old skin that's itching and dark. And we do that by sometimes we got to keep scraping over the rocks, the things that hurt us. But it's time to peel that off so your higher conscience, and once you get into this and you let go of those things and realize, you know what? When we cross the veil, they're not going to matter. All right? Nothing's going to matter. So do you want to live your life in this, or do you want to have this bold new life and be that much closer to enlightenment? That's what we're talking about here. We got to go back. And one of the things I keep seeing here, 6 is always victory. But we can't live in the past. I say that with, a tad of caution. Our whole life is in the past. All right? But we can't keep staying there. There's a tomorrow. There's a today. There's the next hour. These are things. Look back. Remember, you have strong memories. Look at those memories, but use them to learn so you can become victorious and move forward. They're not meant to hold you back. This is why the emotion is playing such a huge part with you, and you're not able to get into your good intuition or that third eye chakra or understand things because you're so locked up in this emotional past of what's going on. Triumph and success. Now we're back into the air cards, okay? The swords. There are things you have succeeded on when people didn't think you would. You just don't remember them, okay? Or they're irrelevant because it's not now, all right? Triumph and success are locked in to what you're thinking, where your mind is at. Triumph and success is about how do you communicate with yourself. How do you communicate who you are, what you want to be, where you want to go with the world around you? It is imperative that you understand triumph and success is steeped in our mental conscious ability of what we see, what we do, setting our goals, understanding truth from fiction, and not letting our emotions just run everything for us. We have to understand triumph and success is important on us. One, it's the beginning. Your thoughts create what you do today. Free your spirit and dance with life. I've got that hanging right where I can look up and see it. Dragonflies, free your spirit and dance with life. And this is what I want you to understand. Free your mind and you will be able to dance with life. My other one is we are shaped by our thoughts. We become what we think. When the mind is pure, joy follows like a shadow that never leaves. Okay? You need to understand. That was from Buddha. What you need to understand is you have to encompass this. Think your joy. Be there. Do it. Put your mind in it. See it for real. And then things will happen. Finally, we have patience, temperance in everything. Okay? There needs to be balance. Yes, you need to remember and learn from the past. You will bring that with you. But you also have to remember there's a future. There are things to be held here. 1 and 4. 1, that beginning. 4, that solid base. But they come together to make a 5. Because we're going to have conflict that comes up. Okay? And if you want to lessen that conflict, you have patience. You have temperance. But with 5, with conflict and some of these things, 5 is also another number for creativity, bringing things to life. All right? You can actually see and work with. Notice we have purity, and it's coming right from the heart chakra all the way up through the throat chakra, through the third eye chakra, and into his crown chakra. When these 3 are working from a place of purity and you can let some things go, look at what he's doing. He's examining. What do I do? And this flower, from something small, something big and beautiful can grow. All right? You need to understand that. That's what you have to do. That's what's got coming and why you're going to be going through a little bit of shakeup from now to the end of the year. It's imperative that you do this because joy and victory is going to be yours. Wow. Bangarang. All right, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to be doing more of these. And so you just let me know if there's a particular topic you want me to cover. Drop it in the comments down below. Remember, I always want your comments down below. Do me a favor. Share, comment, like, but subscribe. Make sure. Share this with somebody you know. Share this with at least one person. That's what I ask. Remember, as always, take what you want. Leave what you don't. But leave having experienced some peace, love, and light. Bangarang.
Reverend Rob Lee, bold, smart, and straight to the point. This is Tarot with an Attitude.